Organically Blunt Show, the podcast that dives deep into the world of cannabis with real, informative conversations. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just curious, light up and join the conversation. Let's get organically blunt. Good evening, everybody. Jay Blaze here from Organically Blunt. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry we had to cancel tonight's episode. Logan, that was going to come on and talk about KNF farming, we had no form of communication on his end when it came down to the showtime. You know, I talked to him earlier this afternoon. He told me he was coming in on an iPhone, and I don't know if our software doesn't work with iPhones or what his difficulty was, but yeah, unfortunately, we could not get him to connect. It seems like I have a lot of problems with people that have iPhones. I'm not an iPhone user, so I know nothing about it. But I'm going to reach out to the company and find out if there's anything special they have to do. But other than that, you know, I had no form of communication. I tried to call them. I tried to email them. Nothing. And I feel terrible because it lets me down because I'm letting you guys down. And I try to provide high quality guests for you guys that are reliable, and sometimes that don't always happen. Life gets in the way. Like I always say, you never know what somebody's going through. So with that being said, I apologize. I'm sorry that we couldn't get him on this show. I'm sorry that we've had a couple other shows that people just couldn't figure out how to log in. It's very simple on a phone. I've tried it on my end, at least. I know on an Android. Like I said, I don't know iPhone, but it's browser based. All you do is create a screen name and give it permission to use your camera and your microphone. And I give you a direct link to chat with me. But I guess sometimes it becomes too complicated. I'm not too sure what happens on the other person's end. And I think almost I would like to see what would happen from somebody's end one time, especially on an iPhone. I don't have one, and I'm not going to buy one just to do testing, but it must be something doesn't work on their end. You know, I feel terrible. Yeah, definitely shit happens, and it's not cool because I feel like I let you guys down, and I don't know. But you know, I was looking forward to this. You know, I went out, I searched for you guys. You know, you guys wanted to hear about Korean natural farming, KNF, and I searched a guy that was a professional in the field, and well, it fell through the cracks tonight, and I feel terrible for that once again. Like I said, I apologize. No correspondence here. Let me see here. Nope, none at all. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. You know, uh, so you know, I'm gonna go back to work myself because, well, I don't have anything else to do. So I apologize, everybody, and I don't mean to make this a short episode for the people out there watching this, but I wanted to make sure I gave out some type of communication before just letting you guys say, hey, what happened? There was no show. You know, I'm trying to get better and become more transparent on things like this just this season. So that was a promise to myself to give to you guys, was I wouldn't just cancel the show and not explain why, and I would be transparent and communicate with you guys, even if it was just a dumb video like this, you know. But you know, I feel terrible. You know, another guest fell through the cracks. I don't know what happened on their end. And I appreciate all of your guys' support. Definitely, you know, the outdoor garden is doing great. I've been trying to share a little bit more about that on Instagram. And next time I go out there, I'm going to try to take some photos and some videos for the YouTube channel as well. They're starting to get big. We got a lot of different things going on out there. We had pretty gusty winds. We've even had gusty winds up to 65-mile-an-hour winds today. It was kind of crazy in this area. And I had to go out and stake the plants up. You know, they were blowing all over the place, and put some arbor tape on it, or known as, people call it green garden tape, but I call it arbor tape because it's what I got it from, was the local arbor shop here. One of the arborists had a row, and I just so happened to get it. So yeah, It hasn't rained too much here, but it's been off and on, but just north of here, it's been downpouring all day. It's just crazy because literally like 20-minute drive from here, they've been having like there a storm for like the past couple hours, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess, and they even had not far from here, 1 inch diameter hail just an hour ago. So it's been, a little bit crazy when it comes to the weather, and the haze doesn't help, or the smoke as they call it. I don't know what to believe on that. I won't touch on that, but I'm not too sure smoke smells like that. Let's just put it that way. Um, and yeah, hail. Yeah, 1 inch hail, it, like the size of a golf ball. Crazy. Yeah. In Michigan weather, it's so bipolar here. If you don't live here, you really wouldn't understand. Like we could go out in the morning and hoodie and sweats, and by noon, and we're in t-shirt and uh, shorts, and then by evening, you're back into a snowsuit. I hate to put it that way, but that's really how it is. We can have all four seasons in one day here. Literally, we basically did. It was sunny, then it rained, then it stormed, then it hailed, then a rainbow came out, and then it went back to being sunny and got steamy. And our humidity levels, well, our dew point is like 70% right now. Like, and yeah, it's, and when it gets that high, it actually makes they were saying on the news, because I'm no weatherman, but they were saying that with that high, it actually makes the temperature feel like it's 15 degrees hotter than what it is outside. And I'm like, well, no wonder it's freaking miserable. And it's been so dry. We do need the rain. I mean, these outdoor plants were popcorn dry, and I'm watering them every day. I mean, dousing them, but they're growing. Can't complain. Got some Cookie Punch. That's our biggest grower right now. Some Cookie Punch from Top Tier Genetics. Um, we had them on the show before. Their Cookie Punch is doing phenomenal outside, and the GMO Oreos is in week 5 of flower. Of flower. Sorry, week 5 of flower. So week 10 of vet or growing from seed, as you want to put it. Since we popped it, and that's getting close. Starting to get a couple amber hairs on a few of them. They're starting to bulk up real nice. The one is taller than me inside, so it's crazy. I'm 5'6", so it's got to be at least 6 foot tall inside the tent. It's crazy. And that's some GMO Oreos. That's a what is it? GMO root beer and Oreos cross. I know somebody asked the other day what cultivars that was. I had to ask because I totally forgot. I don't dig right down into the strains all the time what they're crossed with. We just do testing. Sofim, he's got a thing going on. He's trying to save his farm. So if you guys want to pick up some great packs of seeds, right now is the time to do it. And it's great, support local breeders, support local growers, support your local people, because at the end of the day, they're the people who keep this industry moving forward for all of us. It's not always just the big people. The mom and pops are out here grinding on a daily too. So, and you can use coupon code Organically Blunt over there and save yourself some money. So we all like to save money. I've been talking to strain hunters. We've been trying to get them on the show too, strain hunters. If you haven't followed them on Instagram, check them out. Strain Hunters is doing some cool stuff. They're over in there, they've been in the Columbia jungle, Cabo, Peru, all over the place. I mean, it's phenomenal. And they show the true land races. Like, this ain't, oh, we crossed this with this. No, these are some land races that they've been growing in these countries for probably decades. I mean, I don't know all of the details, but we're going to try to get them guys on the show once things slow down with their filming and stuff, and they can get the time to breathe. They know who we are now. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Sorry, hipsters. You sent me a lot of good questions, and I wanted to ask a lot of them. And unfortunately, you know, he didn't pan out here. I'm not sure what happened. And I just got a text from somebody. I don't know who this is. Sorry, guys. I'm not ignoring you. But yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, I'm going to puff on this half a joint I got rolled up here that I was puffing on from earlier and shoot the shit with you guys for a couple minutes here before I go back to work, if you guys don't mind. I mean, if you want to stick around and shoot the shit, and we'll just do that, you know. I mean, otherwise, I'm going to be going back to work. I mean, there's nothing else to do tonight. I live in a pretty boring town, so when I get bored, I go make money. So, and yeah. So, how's everybody doing out there? Everybody's doing okay, like Hipster said. You know, make sure everybody's going good. Their grow's going good. You know, we had a winner on the last episode that we just did, and I haven't heard from them yet. Winchester. So if you're out there, Winchester, I'm still waiting for that email or that DM so we can get you out that pack of Sulfam genetics. You know, I can't send it to you if I don't know where to send it. So, you know, claim your prize, or unfortunately, we won't know until you claim it. You know, 3:45 a.m. Whew. Yeah, you better get some sleep, Mad Dog. And we'll get you on the next flip. I'm gonna be doing some I'm gonna be going up to Smiling Acres tomorrow night. You know, we just had an episode up with him. I'm going up there tomorrow night after work, and they want me to run some behind the scenes interviews at Smiling Acres on Saturday. So Saturday I'll be interviewing, you know, the musicians and people about their experiences and just having a good time and having some good footage out there for you guys. So make sure you check in because I'll be going live from there, here and there. You know, I'll have all the setup. I'm bringing the gimbal, I'm bringing the tripods, I'm bringing the mobile mics and all that stuff. So it'll be fun. You know, we'll sit down and have some behind the scenes access there. So you'll get to see what the festival looks like from behind the stage, you know, where most people can't go, and you'll get to see how people are getting ready for their acts and how we'll get their take of the event and their performance literally as they come off the stage, you know. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Make sure you get some rest, Mad Dog. We always appreciate you coming in. We appreciate your support, you know, from the other side of the pond. Definitely, you know, I need a vacation. But, you know, this will be my vacation. I don't rarely take any time off work. I think I've been working for about 4 years straight with roughly maybe a weekend here and there if you're lucky, but it's usually just a night of camping, you know, and I enjoy it, but someday I'll catch up to the point where, you know, stability will be nice enough that I can actually take more time off, you know. I want to shoot out to MJ Biz for you guys, get some coverage, but who knows when that'll happen, you know, out there in Las Vegas in November. You know, I really wish I could go this year. And then I'd probably make a stroll out and hang out with the Mindo Dope Boys and all those guys up in Humboldt. But yeah, so Casey said, doing great. Just got my Gorilla Grow tent set up. He was the winner, by the way, guys, of our 500 sub giveaway. And got Captain Redbeard's Lemony Shiznits and Bonnie Farms Gorilla Skittles ready in the earth box with Sohem living soil. Yeah. Make sure you document that and tag us in that on Instagram, Casey, because I definitely want to keep tabs on that. And I want to share it with the sponsors, you know. You never know. They might like it just enough that they might throw you something out. You never know. You know, we never know what they're willing to do. Yeah, no holidays for growers and no holidays for truck drivers neither. Trust me. You know, like we learned in truck driving school, an old quote that's been passed down through generations of truck driving school classes is, rain or shine, it doesn't matter. but that's not the quote. The quote goes, rain or shine, we always get our load there on time. And it's the truth. Rain, snow, or shine, it doesn't matter. We're going to get that load to our customer, and we're going to make sure that they're happy. And that's the dedication that a truck driver puts in every day that people don't see. It's kind of almost like the military. These guys are out there pounding the pavement daily. We see everything that goes on out there. Literally everything that goes on the road we see. I've seen stuff you guys wouldn't even believe. I'm not even going to get into all of it, but I can tell you, if you can think it, I've probably seen it. I've witnessed semis roll over. I pulled tanker drivers out of trucks that rode over. I pulled motorcyclists that been trapped under semi tandems out. I mean, I've seen a lot of things on the road, a lot of things. It's crazy. And I'm a week into hang dry, going smoothly and slowly. I'm around 70 RH in the grow area. I pulled the whole stock out, ripping out the little roots off there so they're not even exposed there. Definitely hipsters. I don't know, I don't know how your temps are neither, but you kind of want to stay under 68 RH if you really can. 68 degrees. I know that sounds crazy because right at about 68 degrees, your terpenes start to volatilize. I can't even say the word correctly. I've never been good at saying words like that, but they start to basically evaporate, and you start to lose flavor and essentially strength of your finished product. So if you got a dehumidifier or AC, try to get it in there. It's definitely going to help bring that humidity down a little bit. Definitely. Yeah, it'll slow. I mean, at that RH, you're definitely, it'll probably slow things down a little bit. Yeah, it's a little wet, but definitely make sure you got good air circulation because that's going to be important. You with a high RH like that, you're dealing with a few things you don't want to deal with. One is powdery mildew, two is mold, three could be bugs. Even though you chopped it or pulled it, bugs, they'll until that thing is fully dead and not green, they're still gonna love that thing. If the moisture's too high, the thing with high humidity is it increases your bugs' metabolism. So the higher the humidity, the more they want to eat because, well, they're hungry. And your plants are the perfect dinner. So, that's why we try to keep the humidity down, especially in flower as you go. It's not uncommon to get down to 40% in flower. I've seen guys do it. I'm not no professional. I'm just going on, what I've learned over the years and what I've seen other growers that I've talked to do. And at least this is in soil. I'm a soil grower, as you guys all know. I don't really dabble on hydroponics or anything like that. I've done it. I've done DWC. I've done hydro. Um, it's cool. It grows fast, but I don't have time for all that. So with soil, you got a buffer. And as you guys know, the bigger the pot, the better the buffer. So, I mean, you could potentially grow a full plant in a solo cup, but you're going to be checking EC, pH, making sure your newts are right, making sure you're not overwatered, underwatered. You have to keep tabs on that thing in order for it to produce. And I'm not saying it's impossible. There's been tons of solo cup challenges, but I don't have time for that. And that's why a lot of my grow is automated, but I hand water. That is the one thing I do. I hand water and I hand feed. I do not automate them. And I may do automation with a blue mat system in the future with a bed for watering, but I don't think I would ever go full automation on that. And with the food, I just can't trust it. Every plant is going to be different. Its needs are going to be different. You got to read your plants, and I'm not running a big facility, so I'm looking for quality versus quantity, and versus a big facility where they have it automated and they have drip irrigation systems and drip feeds and reservoirs. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm too hands-on with my plants. But I'm doing the best I can, but it's coming down like 2 to 3% RH per day. I've got too many DUs going AC infinity fan cranked up to really make sure it's getting airflow, but not directly. Yeah, that's all you can do, man. I mean, I've been there with that high RH, matter of fact, let's look and see what the temps are sitting at right now, just out of curiosity. They're a little warm, but I go based off of VPD versus temperature and humidity. The grow tent with the GMO oils is sitting at 81.1 degrees with 62.6% humidity with a VPD right dialed in right where I want it, 1.15% VPD KPA. And the auto tent, which has the Skywalker haze in it from Dutch Passion that were grown in the country roots indoor soil. That is, well, there it is. Sorry. 81 degrees, 51.7%. So I got to get the humidity up a little bit in there, but I'm just kind of letting it do its thing. And the VPT is a little higher than I want, but it's not terrible. It's at 1.51 KPA. So the auto tent, it bounces around a lot, but it's a 2x4 where the big tent is a 5x5. So yeah, definitely. I lost the message here. I don't know if he deleted it or what. Oh, the chord, I can't even say the word. Strains would be agreed that VPD is really what matters. Yeah, definitely. Your vapor pressure deficit, you get it dialed in and your stomata opens up on your plant and it can take in all the possible newts and uptake everything it needs to the maximum, so to grow the best. I mean, obviously I don't use CO2, but if I was to substitute CO2 and got everything dialed in, it's not unheard of for a plant to grow with CO2 and all the right additives added to it, up to 2 foot a day. It's not unheard of. I know that sounds crazy, but it is very possible. You just got to have everything dialed in. And, I don't want to mess with CO2 because, well, it's CO2. I mean, I'm not that good of a professional. And if I did something wrong and I was sleeping and I was breathing it and didn't know, I might not wake up, and I don't want to take that risk. So I haven't gone that far yet, but the mushroom bags, some people say the mushroom bags work, but I've heard a lot of it is bro science. Maybe it works a little bit, but not enough to change the levels. But I could be wrong. I've never used them firsthand, but a lot of people said they haven't made a lot of difference, but I've also heard people saying they help. So I don't know. They got some heat stress for sure, but the humidity helps them out big time. Definitely, and the biggest thing, hipsters, you're in flower, and I know it. I don't know how far along you are. You could potentially change your lighting schedule to night if it's during the day, so it's cooler. You could dial down your brightness. You could dial down the brightness of the light. Yeah, it's going to produce less heat, and cut down on production a little bit. But is it enough to prevent the crop from burning up if needed? Yeah, that's always an option you could look at. Yeah, CO2. I couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I've talked to friends that have done hydro with it and ran stuff in the past and got special valves, and I don't know. Basically, back then you'd have to act like you owned a restaurant and get the valves from a welding supply and get the tanks and all that. And if you kind of knew what you're talking about, they'd sell it to you. But if you didn't, they kind of would get tipped off. At least that's how it was in this town. My one friend got busted with like well over 180 plants back in the day. He went to prison and he was running CO2, but like he said, if you don't have the monitors, you might not wake up, and I don't know if I'd want that in the same living quarters, because my grows are in my living quarters as well, in my house, home grow. I don't have a garage or in my basement or separate. Yeah, so definitely. Yeah, I'm not sure on the CO2 because I've heard opposite of that, but I'm not 100% sure. I've heard that CO2 really does its job when the lights are off. You know, I don't know. I'm not a professional. I learn right side beside you guys almost every week, on a lot of things. And that's what the whole point of this was to re-educate and learn right beside you guys because I wanted to go to Michigan State, or was it Michigan? Northern Michigan, sorry. Northern Michigan University offers a cannabis course, but it's like $5,000. And I was just like, I can't afford that right now. And so I wanted to produce education and learn from wherever I could. So that was partly why I started this too, on top of my grandpa's legacy of re-education anyway. So yeah, as I learn things, I try to teach you guys, definitely, maybe it only works when the lights are on, but I could have swore I just listened to a podcast this morning where it was saying about the 2 foot, how it could potentially help it grow up to 2 foot a day. And I want to say they said that it was like it did something when the lights were off. I'd have to go back and listen. It's been a long day. I apologize, guys. We should get CO2 blaster cannons for concerts. Just let that thing go off in the house once a day. That should cover the daily CO2. Man, you ain't lying. But, I actually was talking to dude from Dude Grows, and he told me a little tip that he does. Now, I guess you could do it, but I would be scared my house would catch on fire. But here's what he does. He takes a tea light candle, if you guys know what them are, the little white candles with the aluminum dish built on the bottom with a wick that they put in different things. Like they even put them in pumpkins, I think, when we were kids. But they come tea light candles. You put one of them in a glass bowl or a pot or whatever and put it in the middle of your grow tent. And it produces enough CO2 to raise the levels to actually be beneficial for growth. He's been doing it. Does it work? I don't know. Scotty from Dude Grows always used to tease him about it. And we always used to tell him, man, you're going to catch your tent on fire. But I think I forget how long he said it could burn for him. I think he said maybe 8 hours, which substituting CO2 for 8 hours with just a tea light, and it don't cost you anything, and you don't have to plug anything in or run anything or anything like that. It's kind of cool, yeah. But they also have the mushroom bags, that you hang. Now CO2 is heavier than oxygen. That's why they hang it high, because it falls down on the plants, because it won't raise up to the plants. It'll fall down to them. So that's the only things I know. I know I probably should have paid attention better in science class, but I unfortunately didn't all the way. Yeah, definitely. Yep. So them are just things I've learned. I try to be like, I guess you'd say, an encyclopedia as much as I can. I pick from here and I pick from there and I pick everywhere, and I'm trying to grab this and store it in the filing cabinet here and be like a Rolodex, I guess you'd say, of people and information, and that's my goal anyway. Like I say, it's impossible to know everything, but I want to know everything I can possibly know. So, definitely, it's always fun with you guys. It's definitely fun with you guys. I I learn everything every week. Hello, Infamous. Thanks for joining us. We're just sitting here shooting the shit, literally. Some people come, some people go. Welcome from Thailand. That is awesome. We're going to have to get in touch with some of you guys sometimes, and maybe we can swap something. Like you guys can send me some seeds and I'll send you guys something. I don't know how it would work, but it would be cool to get some of you guys' genetics over here and grow them just to see how they do. Oh man, that would be awesome. Exactly, hipster. It's like having a bunch of books that are started with different chapters, but none of them are finished. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's like saying, okay, I'm gonna start writing this chapter on veg, and then you get about 40 pages in. You're like, okay, now I'm gonna jump over here to flower, and then you're jumping on it. Okay, I'm gonna write a couple chapters on harvesting. Okay, now I'm over here and I'm gonna talk about germination. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Every week I learn stuff, and some of the stuff I learn from you guys. Yeah, like KNF I've heard of before, but I've actually, my buddy's a geologist, the guy who owns Country Roots, my buddy Chris, and he does what do they call them? Oh, I can't even think what they call them. Huckles, I think they call them, or something like that. They're like a berm that he grows in. I can't remember the name of them, but it's cool. I've seen people do that too, and I just learn I have ADHD too, so like I jump around like the score on Ice Age. I'm all over the place. Like, yeah, like it's crazy, but definitely, yeah, that's. Sometimes I hate putting my phone number on emails. That text I told you guys I got, I'm going to show you. And if anybody wants to call this number and spam it, go right ahead. See if I can get it out. She said, oh, you guys can't even see it. Oh, hold on a minute, guys. I'm trying to get it. This girl said something about it. She said, hello. I said, who's this? And they sent me it's a Korean or Chinese or Asian descent woman with a little poodle. She's not bad looking. I'll give you guys that. And because I am single, by the way, guys. Sorry to the people who ain't. But she said, Dr. Linda, thank you for your treatment last week. Bella is recovering well now. So I'm thinking they think I'm a veterinarian or something. Maybe they got the number wrong. I see if I can get you guys to see it. Kind of see her. I'm telling you, I get some of the weirdest, excuse my French, shit on my phone. That is why I had to make a second Facebook, because I was using my real name. No disrespect, my real name is not Jay, for the people that do know me, but everybody calls me it, and it's been my name since I was a kid. It should have been my name. It's what I wanted my name to be. But long story short, yeah, it's definitely a scam, guys. Yeah, like I think I could have swore I've talked to this person before. Not the picture, but the actual person, the number or something. Now I gotta block them. This is why I don't give my number out. It's the same way like with when you talk to like Mendo, like I'm friends with Mendo and Dude and all them guys and Mr. Grower and Pigeons, and yeah, we don't give our numbers out for a reason, because and if we have to give you our number, we're screening the hell out of you guys before we even give it to you to make sure it's legitimate, because we get so much stupid shit like this. Excuse my language again. I know it's organically blunt, and I'm trying to be good because YouTube likes to punish us when we say it. Yeah, yeah. Like it's just ridiculous. Like you're just like, okay, I don't even know how these people get my numbers. And then I get like these weird email ones where it's a text message from an email, but you can't reply to it. It's very weird how they do it. You'll go to text back like, who is this? And they'll say, this number is out of order. And you're like, but it's an email treated as a text message. So they got to be using like an app or something. I don't know. I don't get into that stuff, but it becomes annoying to the point. That is why I made a J Blaze Facebook. You can find me on Facebook as J Blaze. And people add me on the daily. And people want me to buy their seeds and they want to ship me product, and it will be a yeah, 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 you got it. You got it, Mad Dog. I ain't even gonna say it, but I know what you're saying. Trust me. Yeah, yeah. Each to their own. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Um, it's kind of like that old Shaggy song. I won't get into that neither. If you guys listen to old 90s rap and hip hop, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. She whipped out a meager than mine. Yeah, no, nah, not me. Sorry. If you guys like it that way, each to your own. And I'm not going to get into that because that's politics and essentially. But yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat and peels your banana. Definitely. Yeah, yeah, you got it, hipsters. Yeah, that's not my cup of tea. Don't put the coffee on. I'm not staying. Definitely not. Definitely. But I think what I'm gonna do here is not tonight, but I think we're gonna try to give away some more Humboldt seats here in the next couple of weeks. So you guys that are hanging out with me, you heard it. For the people who didn't, well, maybe they'll find out. I got a whole box of them here, but I don't really like giving my prizes away, I guess you'd say, because I love the Humboldt seeds, but I do have some to give away, and I've been dying to give one away to you guys. The only downfall is with them, I ship them. They don't ship them to you, so I have to pay the shipping out of my pocket. So, we haven't started a Patreon or nothing like that yet because I said I wouldn't start one until we had 1,000 subs. And oops, sorry guys, I bumped the mic there. And let's see where we're at. I haven't checked in a few days. I was on it, like lottery numbers, like checking it like an old man that checks his lottery numbers every day. But then it was like, let's just let it do its thing. We're at 559 subscribers. So let's see here. That would be what, 460 more to go, roughly 461. So tell your friends, tell your family to hit that bell, hit that subscribe, because I'm going to continue to try to bring you guys everything you guys want to learn and hear about, and I take your comments and I try to find them, find people that come through, but they don't always come through. I've been trying to get Cottonmouth Kings to come on since last year. And they get their PR and their manager and their head singer, they'll all say, hey, yeah, we want to come on. We want to come on. Then we'll get emailing back and forth, and I'll try to schedule. And then I don't know if they could just get stuck on the road or what happens, but then you don't hear from them for months. Same thing with a couple other people. So it's been hard, to get these people to come on the show. And especially people, I hate to say it, I'm Eastern time, but you guys over in the Pacific Standard Time, your time zone don't work for me. No disrespect, but it's like when you guys are able to come on the show where it's logical for your time, it's like dinner time here, or it's like extremely early in the morning, and it's like, oh yeah, that ain't gonna work. Just like today, with Logan, it was 6 a.m. where he's at. It's supposed to come on at 10 p.m. our time, and he said he'd be there. He said he set an alarm. He was even online, but I never heard from him, so I don't know what happened, Stinks, Hawaii, maybe they had Wi-Fi issues. I don't know. But definitely. Yeah, so What's everybody got going in their gardens that's out there? A few of you guys said, does anybody got any outdoors going, or is it strictly indoor? You know, I've got the auto tent going, I've got the indoor tent going, and I've got the outdoor going. And the indoor tent is going to be getting shut down after the GMO Oreos, even though I don't want to. But the heat has been an issue. Been an issue, and summer rates on electric bill. I got the hiccups. It's been high. So from 2 to 6 p.m. our time here, they charge 1.5% on top of the normal rate. So yeah, it's ridiculous. But when the temperatures in your tent hit 90, which they did for about an hour yesterday, and then I came home and kicked the AC on, I was like, oh man, I got to run the AC. I don't have central air. I have a window unit, and I need to get a newer one. And I've been trying to find one on like Facebook Marketplace or something similar to that, wherever you guys use where you're at. And I want one with a digital thermostat so it'll kick on and off like a furnace or like a central air. But mine, it just runs full blast. So either it's going to be hot or it's going to run, and eventually I get home and it's like 60 degrees in my house, which is perfect, for drying. I just run that thing on full blast and it keeps my house at 60 degrees. And then I just run my humidifier, and my humidity at that time is right around 50. So I have to add 10% RH to the air and dial it in 7 to 10 days. And usually it's ready to go. Sometimes I've had to go 14, but not very often on my hang, and it's been fun. It's been fun. Every atmosphere is different, and you got to try to dial it in, it's, but I'm going to need the 5x5 to dry a lot of my outdoor, because I'll turn it into a drying chamber. Because by the time we get to harvest on the outdoor, typically we get a lot of rain and wind when it's harvest time here. And it sucks because if you're not fast and get that moisture off, you get mold. And if you're not staking your plants, well, you're going to have a lot of broken plants. And that's not always fun. I already had one break a branch. Oh, yeah. It happens, hipsters. A couple people have come and gone, here and there, just listen to me literally gab at the mouth. I don't do this a whole lot, I thought about doing it more often, because I do have a tripod. It was supposed to be delivered today because I broke my little one. It pissed me off. I don't even know where it went. I got it free from Facebook. It was cool because I was a content creator when Facebook decided to go to video. And they sent me a little kit and to make videos with. It was chintzy, but I loved the tabletop tripod because I could set my cell phone here and I could talk to people and deal with stuff as I'm talking to you guys. And it broke, the leg on it broke last night. So I ordered another one. So it'll be cool because this one I can actually take to events and out with me, and I can plug in our professional mic to it that plugs into my phone. So it's going to produce even better audio than a cell phone can. And it'll be studio quality essentially. And that's what we're going to be running with on Saturday. So it'll be great for interviews, and I could possibly even do some of these stupid chats. I call them stupid, but some people like them. These chats and smoke and chat, or we used to call it, what do we call it? Talk and toke. That was what we used to call it back in the day. Talk and toke. And I could essentially go to different places, like our beach, and set up and just get on here and talk to you guys and shoot the shit. Or I could go on vacations and do it from different places and show you guys some of our scenery too that we have to offer here. Just kind of show you guys what it's like in my area, I guess you'd say, if anybody wanted to see that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to find out more about what you guys want to hear about and see, and get more people on that. I talked to Jeremy from Build a Soil. We always love talking with him. I'm going to try to get him back on in July. Well, it's July now, but Well, almost July. Sorry, I keep thinking it is, but yeah, in July he's got some time. I talked to Dank Man Dan. If you don't know who he is, check him out. About coming on the show. Mad Hatter just reached out to me. Matter of fact, on Instagram as we're sitting here, and we're gonna try to get him on. Dutch Blooms. I ain't heard from him in a bit. You know, that is some cool people. What do you say here, man? And reconnect with you about the podcast. Been so damn busy. I have the next 5 days off working in my own way, and I'll be able to chat or message back and forth more regularly, and would like to try and plan something. I'm going to see if maybe he'll want to pop on tonight. Maybe we can get a late night guest, you know, for a couple people out there that want to listen, you know. He won a few awards at a couple of our events we had here in the past. And he makes some killer hash and stuff. And they also have some events coming up. Looks like it's in the end of this month. Terps and Tents. So I remember these folks now that sometimes I forget who people are by their screen names until I start to talk to them again. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I met that person at the event. That's that person that's putting on an event. Let's get him on and talk about. But yeah, definitely, you know, he's known for his hash, though. Excuse me. Hash is, I've smoked it a few times, you know. I've never smoked it the correct way, obviously, but well, I don't know if there's a correct way, but my cousin makes it, and his stuff is okay. Okay, I'll put it that way. I've learned a lot, so it's not that great, I'll be honest, but I don't want to hurt his feelings. Sorry, cuz, but you got some practice to do. But yeah, I mean, I took his stuff and I sprinkled it on my joints and stuff, but I got a hell of a fucking headache. And so I'm thinking he didn't. I think what the one guy say, my buddy Smoking Stork, he said might have a lot of solvent in it or something. So I don't know. You know, I'm not a hash guy. I'm strictly a flower guy. But if you give me something, I'm not gonna say no and not try it. So, you know, I tried it. I didn't know how I was supposed to consume it, but I broke it up and sprinkled it in my smoke and smoked it that way. You know, definitely. I mean, I've heard of people smoking out of pipes. I can't just stop yawning. Sorry, guys. Definitely, I just can't stop yawning. We had a storm come in this morning about 10 after 5, and I went to bed at 3. And it was hella lightning and thunder and wind, and lasted for about 45 minutes, and then it was done. But the plants loved it, so we've really been needing some rain up here in Michigan. I mean, it's been so dry, fires and everything else. So yeah, I don't know how it is where you guys are, and hopefully everybody's having a good season outdoors and not a lot of drought. This has probably been the driest season I've ever seen. So it's been kind of crazy. It's affecting our apples. It's affecting our strawberries. So with the way the weather has been here for our strawberries, it's put them into what we call hyper mode, I guess you'd say. They grow so fast that they rot before they can pick them. It's actually quite sad. And then the apples, you know, they're not blossoming up yet like they should because they're getting the heat, but they're not getting the moisture. And our corn, a lot of it hasn't germinated. Luckily, we got this rain, so a lot of it will be germinated. But, you know, like they say, if your corn's not knee high by 4th of July, it's probably not going to produce anything. So we'll just see. The farmers have had a lot of issues this year. I'm into the farming side of things too. I listen to a podcast called No-Till Gardening. You guys should check it out if you're into no-till gardening, even with cannabis. I mean, instead of tilling your gardens up and your soil, you re-amend it and you build your soil up, and it breaks down over time and it becomes sustainable. And the more you use it, the better it gets. So every year it's going to get that much richer and better. And that's what we did with our soil this year. Is I went through with Country Roots and I bought a whole dump trailer full, and I used it in our holes. We dug big holes. I think they were, I want to say they were 2 foot wide by roughly 2 foot deep. And we backfilled them. Excuse me. And they're doing great, but because of the lack of the rain, the soil has been loose, I guess you'd say. We water thoroughly, but it's not compacted like it should be. So the root systems are a little loose, I guess you'd say. They got strength and they're growing great. They're growing excellent, but they don't got enough strength to be deep in there that some of them were falling over. So we had to build supports for them, but it happens. My buddy's got a bunch of property on his farm, and I leased the back section of it, and that's where we put the outdoor, and me and him are working together, and it's doing amazing. I mean, I can't complain. The sour glue from Atlas Seeds, which strain hunters, they hunted that is phenomenal. It's growing very heartily. The stock is about the size of a pool stick already, so it's getting there. It's growing, and the Cookie Punch is doing great. The Humboldt headband from Humboldt Seed is doing great. A lot of them caught up, and they were actually put out 2 weeks after the rest of them, and they're already caught up. It's like, wow, excellent. But I've been on here almost an hour. I'm not going to go longer than an hour tonight because I don't want to bore you guys for longer than an hour. And because we're just literally gabbing at the mouth here. And I feel like I'm talking to myself. But, if you guys have anybody you want to see on the show, please tag them or message me and let me know. If you want a subject covered or a question answered, let me know what it is. I'll find a professional. I will get them on the show and we will cover that subject. That is what, at the end of the day, this show is for you guys. And I'm here because of you guys. So we want to make sure you're getting the information, the knowledge, and the content you want to see. So don't be afraid to speak up. And if you want to see something, tell me, definitely. Because like I said, I want to cater it to my audience and my community, because without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. And like I said, if you want to see anything, comment on this video. Let's hear about it. Leave it in the comments below. After this video is done, give it a thumbs up. Let us know that we're reaching you guys and that we're doing a good job, and we'll appreciate it. But with that being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to go back to work for a while, probably cruise down by Lake Michigan. I always do, listen to some tunes, roll a few, and just unwind from my day. That's my zen. Everybody's got their spot and their zen spot. Mine has always been at the Tree of Life that I love to photograph. I've showed the photo before. Some of you guys have seen it. Some of you guys haven't. But yeah, so with that being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for checking out Organically Blunt. Got tongue-tied there. And you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Organically Blunt Show, a cannabis lifestyle podcast that's raw, uncut, and unedited. Thanks for listening to the show. We would like to give thanks to this episode's partners. Grow Strong Industries, the mother brand of Gorilla Grow Tint, Kind LED, and Lotus Nutrients. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Seedsman Seeds, a trusted seed bank with over 20 years in the industry. Use coupon code Organically Blunt 10. Horticulture Lighting Group, HLG, real efficiency, real yields, and made in the USA. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Rain Science Grow Bags, one-of-a-kind mesh grow bags that eliminate problems and increase yields. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Growth Bags, the best curing solution to save terps. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Captain Redbeard Seeds, genetics that are loyal to the soil. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Humboldt Seed Company, Humboldt's original seed. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Fish Head Farms, the maker of fish shit, the most robust beneficial bacteria on the market. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Sofim Genetics, quality genetics at a fair price. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Green Wolf Genetics. These genetics come from a wolf pack that runs with quality and no BS. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Utopic Essential Nutrients. Discover the truth. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Stream Gardening, world-leading mycorrhizal fungi. Dry Tents, because we all need a place to dry that harvest. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And in the meantime, follow us on Instagram at Organically Blunt or on Social Club at Organically Blunt. You can reach us also via email at organicallyblunt@gmail.com. Organically Blunt can be found where you listen to podcasts such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, Anchor.fm, and Apple Podcasts. See you next time on the Organically Blunt Show.